be stopping by to say hello. Out here it's real life, no fuss, no show. With Highland cattle and piggies on the go. We got meat, birds, fur babies too. Gardens growing fresh, right in view. I'm baking up love in all that I do, and helping the small folks to see them through. Welcome to the Bronx, where the fun's running wild, with the homestead heart and a country style. We're growing good food and raising some joy, and giving a hand to each girl and boy. So come on by, have a laugh or two at the Bronx. We're waiting just for you. Out in the yard, where the chickens roam, we're building a life that feels like home. From the veggies we grow to the soil we turn, it's a simple life and so much to learn. I'm baking bread, smell the warm, sweet air. Piggies squealing, love's everywhere. We lend a hand to channels that care, because lifting each other is what we share. Welcome to the Bronx, where the fun's running wild, with the homestead heart and a country style. We're growing good food and raising some joy, and giving a hand to each girl and boy. So come on by, have a laugh or two at the Bronx. We're waiting just for you. So come on and join, let's build it together through thick and thin in any weather. We're all in this, let's make it better at the Bronx. It's a life to treasure. Welcome to the Bronx, where the fun's running wild, with a homestead heart and a country style. We're growing good food and raising some joy, and giving a hand to each girl and boy. So come on by, have a laugh or two at the Bronx. We're waiting just for you. Yeah, at the Bronx, we're waiting just for you. Welcome to the Bronx, where the fun's running wild, with a homestead heart and a country style. We're growing good food and raising some joy, and giving a hand to each girl and boy. So come on by, have a laugh or two at the Bronx. We're waiting just for you. Yeah, at the Bronx, we're waiting just for you. Welcome.
It's a great day to be in the sugar shack. Have a few drinks while we boil down the sack. If you're looking for me, I don't know when I'll be back, but you'll find me out at the sugar shack. Spring is here, and those maples are all tapped. We got cold beer, and those buckets are full of sap. So I guess it's maple syrup time again, and you can smell the maple sugar in the wind. And it's a great day to be in the sugar shack. Have a few drinks while we boil down the sack. And if you're looking for me, I don't know when I'll be back, but you'll find me out at the sugar shack. All here, and there's still lots of room. Let's get weighed, play that maple sugar tune, and we can boil all day and all night, and pray that the sugar comes out right. And it's a great day to be in the sugar shack. Have a few drinks while we boil down the sack. And if you're looking for me, I don't know when I'll be back, but you'll find me out at the Sugar Shack. All right, you know it, let's sing it. And it's a great day to be in the Sugar Shack. That sounds good. Have a few drinks while we boil down the sack. It's as sweet as maple syrup. And if you're looking for me, I don't know when I'll be back. I'm here, but you find me out at the Sugar Shack. And if you're looking for me, I don't know when I'll be back, but you find me out at the Sugar Shack. Hey Jeff, is that getting close? You find me out at the Sugar Shack. Oh, it smells good, brother. You'll find me out at I think we better take off our batch. Hey man, we're waiting on you at the Sugar Shack.
Hey, hey, hey. Hopefully everybody's doing wonderful. Hey, hey, hey. Well, that works. There we go. All right. I'm trying something new. Usually Thursdays. I noticed it started falling off. And it turned out a lot of people. Sorry, guys, I'm all full of Hank hair. But anyways, Hank's not feeling too good. He decided that he was going to eat socks again. Anyways, we'll wait and see what happens there. But it is what it is, and I can't afford to spend any more money. So I've come to the conclusion that it is what it is. $20,000 on a dog. Thank God we have insurance, is all I can say. And even in the insurance, we've had to drop now because they wanted to go crazy. So he's all right now. He's all tucked in to my chair. I've got him a special snack of rice. So it's now it's just a sit and wait game. But anyways, it's going to be an awful bad day if something was to happen to my little furry brother. You look at it. We spend 24 hours a day together. But anyways, so let's get it going a little happier. And we got Krabby the Beagle all the way from India. How are you? We got Susan, Bud Files, my sister Jill. We got Brenda's in here. We got Grey Wolf. Ooh. Well, Brenda, 2 days. 2 days to final payment day. And then we've got 120 days. So as of Saturday, there's 120 days to the cruise. Technically 118 days because there's a gaggle of us going 2 days early to socialize, fellowship, and have some fun around Seattle. So let's just say this boy can't wait to get out of here. But anyways, we got Brenda, we've got obviously got Skip. Where are we here? Handcrafted Travelers, howdy howdy. Drew. We have, just seems like the same yep, I have changes. Okay, well, your next big hurdle is to get it paid. And if you're paid, you're golden. We can adjust whatever leading up to it. I've decided that I'm going to I have 3 different insurances. Debbie has 1 and I have 2. Well, they want me to buy their insurance. Well, I've already got 3 insurances, and their insurance, at least with Carnival, makes me go through my insurance. So then why did I pay for Carnival's insurance? So it's going to save me $570 if I cancel their insurance. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Is like I say, I've got time. Peter's getting pretty stressed out right now. I think this is the largest group he's ever had to deal with, and he's about to blow a gasket. He's just unsure how to zig and zag. So we're working with him. I may be myself, but I'm going. Well, Brenda, you've always, balcony's good, but you can always do an interior to save yourself some cashola. It's all, trust me, we know. We went from 45 rooms, I don't even know how many we got left. And there's people that are trying to sell vehicles to go. Anyways, that was in his plans for a while, but I don't know. I hate to see people sell vehicles to go on a cruise, but it is what it is. And they've never traveled before. So this was supposed to be their anniversary, their honeymoon anniversary, and everything. So I can understand. We were one of the fortunate ones. We took a honeymoon right away. And yes, I am a very large kid. We actually honeymooned at Disney World. We had a blast. And yeah, I said it. It was our generation is the last generation to think that Disney World was cool. because their animatronics, our age group thought was, oh, wow. Our kids were underwhelmed whenever we went to Disney World, whenever we took them in 20. Oh, just give me 1 sec, guys. This is a work call. 2 seconds. Meow, meow. Sorry, guys. Oh, no, 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 no. Unsure. Something's going on with I not not sure what happened. I just got 5 phone calls from work people or township people. I don't work. From township individuals, and then I look down, and it's calling my wife. I'd say we got a system malfunction because it's a way down over here. So both my hands are here. I didn't do no calling. But anyways. Yeah, no. So yeah, getting back to the whole Disney World, our age demographic thought, wow, cool. The kids were like, oh, they were underwhelmed. Let's face it, they were, they grew up in a whole other world than what we did. So no, they still had a blast with the roller coasters and all that stuff, but very underwhelmed. So it's the unfortunate thing, but yeah. It is what it is. But anyway, so yeah, I'm trying something different, and obviously it's not working. So a lot well, and there's a lot going on today too. A lot of people are going into Tin Killer today. I was talking to Jesse and Lisa. They were there Tuesday, and I was talking to Jesse yesterday, and his water pump just kept going off. Couldn't figure it out. I guess they broke a water line in the park. So they were trying to get that fixed. And he said, where we normally drive into Tin Killer, that's all flooded out. So he said it's quite soupy. So he said what they had to do was go up by the maintenance shed and back down the back road to get to where they're camping at the far end. So, anyways, I know they were the only ones in. Nobody was there except for them. So we've been chit-chatting about the whole trip cruise. It's going to be awesome. And, we were kind of we weren't bummed, but I know personally I was. That there's a lot of people backed out. I'm not bummed that they backed out. Hey, I get life. I just about had to back out. I'm sitting on $28,000 of an HVAC system at the house. So we just about had to back out. But I was, up to last week, I still wasn't sure. But we're 100%. I'm putting final payment on today. And yeah. It's you're going tomorrow, Brenda? Okay. Are you camping or wow. Yeah, I don't even know how many people are supposed to go this year. I've been unattached, obviously for other reasons. I'm, still trying to get the homesteading conference off the ground here. Man, I tell you what, it's crazy the amount of work that this has transpired into, and it's only me and my social media guy. All I can say is wow. But Brenda, I honestly, I have not, between, trying to get all the stuff figured out for the cruise. I'm trying to block off time for the race car. Again, it's a pain in the what. But anyways, between the cruise, trying to, normal life. Last Friday was the first time in probably, I'm going to say 2 months, that my wife and I were able to go out we didn't even go out. We actually stayed home, but we put away the phones. Yeah. We didn't watch, she didn't watch her shows. She's into all these British shows. Um, and obviously I'm into you all know what I'm into. Well, it kind of sucks that I had to give up my Friday night online, but you know what? You gotta do, you gotta take time for family. I've seen so many people. Joe, Garden State Gardener, his last, he's given up the YouTube. His last show, I believe, was last weekend. I had an email there, and again, it was the same time that Debbie and I took time for ourselves. So I've watched the rerun and everything, and it sucks that that's it, Brenda. It just, it is what it is. But if I can say to anyone right now, take time for your family, even set days. Shut the computers off, turn the phones off, and pull out a board game if you still have young kids, or um, my kids are sorry, I've got work emails flying here. I knew this was going to happen today. I had a gut feeling. I said I should cancel today because old Hankster isn't feeling the best, and we've got stuff going on at work. Hey, Shane, what's going on, man? I haven't seen you in, good Lord, dog's age. Well, I've seen you. Just say hello on passing and all that good stuff. So hopefully you're doing well. And you can lurk away. You do, like I just got through talking, man. So many people have walked away from YouTube because they let YouTube take over their life. Or they've let, you know, other things take over their lives. And unfortunately, there's just no, there's no good time. But schedule time together is all I will recommend. And if your family doesn't want to be part of it, Don't force them. That's the worst thing you can do. Like my wife, she deals with the public all the time. She deals with public that are sicker than, excuse me, ooh, we got the hiccups. She deals with the public at the sickest of sick times. So, unfortunately, they, it's not very pleasant, some of the people she has to deal with, but they're going through a lot of life issues themselves, medical issues. So, and again, just take your time. And all that I can say is 2 days a week. I can get away with it because I do one during the day and one in the evening. A lot of people, they try to schedule 2 in the evening. Well, it's 2 evenings you're taking away from your family. Although, whenever you look at it, really I've got 3 because I've got meetings at least one night a week. So, it is what it is. Hey, there's my younger sister, Wendy. What's up, Wendy? I really don't have a whole lot going on, so let's drop the old linkadoo here. I won't be on, well, we'll be on for at least another hour, but come on now. There we go. Oh my goodness. 10 killer down. Woo-hoo. Load them up. Well, Angie, you know what? You got a job to do, Angie. You got to give a whole bunch of hugs for me. And then come ship time, you have to bring me those hugs. You're on a mission. I'd say Tony could, but yeah, that might get a little weird. He's far too furry for myself. Will do. Awesome. And Brenda, you're the same. I woke up the other night and there was Brenda. Oh my God, there was Brenda, Debbie, Lisa. There had to have been about 20 of us in the casino. And Brenda hit. I've never heard. That's what woke me up, was the screaming of Brenda winning all this money on the cruise ship. So, Brenda, if you hit big, it came through this head. I only take 20%. I'm just saying. It started brewing in here. Got to be good for at least 20%. Now, so I don't know if everybody has NCL. Hey Scott, not hanging out long. Oh, Kitty's still not doing the best. Oh, poopy doos. Well, I'll keep a little furry one in my thoughts. Negotiations in order. Oh boy. Yeah. Hey, Kev. What's going on, brother? You got 2 days, Kevin. Jump on board that ship. Mm-hmm. Just saying, it's only about $2,000. You can do, well, be 2,500 for you because you'd need the big package to do your shows on a cruise ship. Ooh-wee. Just saying. Take care, Skip. For God's sakes, don't do anything I wouldn't do. And if you do it, at least name it after me. How far are you out, Angie? I don't know if you have Jesse's phone number, but you may want to touch base with him or have Tony give him a call. I was talking to him yesterday. There was a water leak. So he found it quite strange that his pump kept running. And that's what it was, is there was a water leak in the park. But he said it was so wet. So if you take the road closest, the water, Jesse had to turn around and come back and go up by the maintenance shed. And he had to run the maintenance shed side of things because of the amount of water. He said down where so if you go straight down instead of going the maintenance shed, go straight down, and then there was like toilets, garbage, whatever. And then you turn that corner and there's like a beach kind of there. He said that was gone. He said it was all water. So, yeah, you may just want to. I'm not 100% sure if the lake was flooded or if they just had so much rain that it was in low-lying areas. I honestly don't know. But you may want to get a hold of Jesse or Johnny, one of them, and find out what's your best way to get over to the gazebo, because I think you're right near Jesse, aren't you? And you're going to want to stay high and dry. And, like Jesse said, he's not too worried about it. He said if worse comes to worse, he'll go out by the service station. He'll get them to unlock that lock and he'll go up behind the washrooms and out through the service station. Now, she, I don't think it, I just hate to see you get bogged down. Um, hey, Wendy.
Hey.
So yeah, no, I'd hate to see you get bogged down by the lake. Oh, so it is the lake that's flooded. Oh. Wow.
Yeah, that lake is flooded.
So yeah, like Jesse said, it was up really high whenever I was talking to him yesterday. And I'm just trying to think if there's people camping down there or not. If they are, they won't be.
Right.
Well, I guess they could get a waterbed.
Or a free float trip.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. So
float.
what's new and exciting with you?
Well, I'm kind of watching the weather, a little antsy about taking the trip because of the weather. You remember last year, the tornadoes hit me all the way home. So,
Well, that and the year before, um, the Wednesday was nice. Thursday was nice. Friday wasn't too bad, but then Saturday we got nailed in the morning, and it was bad enough that Josh and Titus were going around. They were the raving reporters, or raging, I think they were calling themselves. And they were going from campsite to campsite in the pouring rain, and they were just drenched. But yeah, no, we had a lot of fun. But there was a lot of rain that weekend also. So they're going to have to, this is now 3 years in a row.
I wonder if another date might be a probability. Just saying.
Mm-hmm.
A heart of like extreme weather time for Oklahoma.
Well, that's it.
Quit, baby. Sorry, my cat. But yeah, I noticed. Sorry, my allergies are bothering me because it is rainy out here. I think the rain has stopped right now, but we have storms coming in tonight here. Quit, honey. And then tomorrow. And I'm not sure about Saturday. I was going to watch the Ryan Hall update and then Channel 9, which Channel 9 isn't going to give me the news for Tahlequah.
No. You could stream it. Tahlequah News or Tahlequah 9, or you should be able either that or give Jesse, send Jesse an email. And they're watching the, the weather pretty close.
I have Tony's number, and then of course, I have Ginger's, but they're not going.
No.
Think of who else that's there that I have their phone number that I could, touch base with to find out. Gonna just do a lot of praying. My friend is coming with me, and then she told another friend that watches a lot of the YouTube channels, and I guess she might even come, like just to drop in by. So
yeah.
I'm like, heck yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. So yeah, no, it honestly, it's I don't, like the one, I guess, what, 2 years ago, it was so cold that Charles, his feet
Oh,
were turning blue because
oh,
he was 2 years ago he was staying in a tent.
oh my gosh.
And oh, so yeah. Um Miss Ann, I put the link up here. I'll put it up again.
I was trying to see if anybody.
And yeah, like I say, I don't, as long as you have Tony's number, they'll be able to get local weather.
Yeah, yeah.
So
No,
at least, he could text you or whatever, and just, you know, if they're supposed to get really bad weather, well, you might want to rethink things.
I know, right? And it's like, I've waited all year, and I kept saying all year, as long as there's not tornadoes, I will be there. Now I have a friend coming with me, and I think she will probably still want to go. I would feel better having somebody with me. However, I am terrified of tornadoes. Absolutely terrified. And when you're on the highway, there's no shelters. There's nowhere to go. You are open.
Nope.
Uh, you're you're just,
You can, you can get beside some of these, abandoned buildings, but you're also running the chance of losing the building on top of your car too.
and losing the car and having, no way of getting a hold of my husband. And he'd be like, because
Yeah.
I know I was on the phone with Jan, I was on the phone with Christine, and they were praying for me. And then my husband called, and he's like, I'm going to pull into this casino. And he's like, oh, no, you're not. You're just going to drive home because the tornadoes were coming down everywhere all night. And
Mm.
he was like, I'd rather you just come home. Just come home. And I was like, I'm too scared to. And he goes, get home. And so I couldn't see the road, and I had to
Yeah.
follow a rig with the flashers going. And that's what got me home. And I was like,
Hmm.
where's people? You know?
Stick behind those guys. They know what they're
Yeah.
looking for, and they're, it would be, it's surprising to see how many people that would follow us in like snowy weather, whatever. They would get in behind you and they would follow you for 100, 200 miles.
Dang.
They were not passing. Well, the way they looked at it is they do this every day. They're not going to wreck their, you know, $300,000 rig.
Right. Right.
So they're not going to take a chance. And it's also going to give you shelter.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know, if need be, you can.
Except for tornadoes. There's no shelter.
No, no. But if you're beside a loaded transport, it's better than nothing.
Exactly. And that's the way I looked at it. I got right behind him because there were all these cars pulled off on the side of the road with their flashers on. And I know that that leaves you vulnerable to get hit, number one. Number
Mhm.
two, the emergency alerts kept saying there's a tornado on the ground, get off the highway. And it was in the county I was in and they followed me home. And they kept saying it's in this county, and I would be like, I'm in that county. And they're saying, get off the road now. Take shelter now. And I'm going, oh
Where?
my
Where
gosh. Yeah,
would you like me
exactly.
to go?
Yeah. And I just was like, those people are like vulnerable. The best thing you can do is get behind a truck with the flashers. And he was going like, I think 30 miles an hour.
Yep.
And I
And
kid you not, I was crying and praying and crying and praying. And it was, if you'd have seen me, you would have been like,
yeah, but
you know,
if you see, get up close enough to the back end of the truck, and if you see a lock on it, he's loaded,
yeah,
you know?
yep.
So,
Couldn't see anything but his lights. That's all I could see. It
yeah,
was pouring down and hailing, and I was like, this is just great. I wanted to stay home. And then everybody kept saying, come on, come on, and
yeah.
trust in the Lord. And I did, and I trusted in the Lord. And I got there, got to spend time with Charles, because that was his last time. Got to
Mm-hmm.
meet several people I haven't got to meet at the other meetups. And then I got home safe. So I'm grateful. So I'm thinking, I should
But
just
how
trust
many
the Lord
times
again.
do you want to push your luck?
Well, I know, but gosh, I don't ever go anywhere or do
Hmm,
anything.
I hear you.
I'm kind of committed to go, but unless there's tornadoes dropping down, I'll probably still go. But if there's tornadoes dropping down on Saturday, no. No, I'll camp out right in the storm shelter.
It, yeah, it's, you just got to look out for you, you know?
Exactly.
It's
Exactly.
unfortunate. And, but yeah, no, the only time, the worst one that I went through was, it was it in Alabama or Mississippi? Anyways, it was in a truck stop. We brought our trucks to within 4 inches of one another so that if a transport tornado did hit, because it was projected to go right over us, they said if we're that close together, the tornado will go up and over your truck. And if the one guy at the one end, if he happens to go like this, there's going to be minimal damage. You're going to scratch your truck.
Wow.
So, because you can't tip over. And even if it goes over this way, there's not enough room to get wind down in between the trucks to flip it. So
Wow.
it was the safest way.
Hmm.
Yeah, it was pretty scary, pretty intense that night. Didn't get a whole lot of sleep,
No. No.
but it was
No.
just, yeah, it turned out we didn't get it, but you could hear the train whistle and, like,
Oh, that's a horrid sound.
yeah,
Yeah, it is. It's like, oh gosh, I'm gonna die right now,
I wasn't worried about it. I was in the middle. The,
Wow.
the good Lord picked me out to be in the middle. So I had 6 trucks on one side and 10 on the other.
Dang.
So now I had to suck in my gut to try to get out of my truck,
No,
but
yeah, no,
that
buddy.
was, I wasn't too worried about that.
Somebody wants to be in the video.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, she's
I got
decided.
to, yeah, I've got to be part of the show.
Yeah, but she's wanting
Hey, brother
to.
Josh. Josh, if you look up the links up there, if you want to pop in, but
Hey, boy, she's trying to take over here.
absolutely, I am the star of the show.
Say hi, Callie. Say hi. She's mad.
Yeah,
Isn't she pretty?
got a whole bunch of different colors. Yep.
Yep, she's a tortoise shell.
Okay.
I've had her 15 years. Yeah,
Good Lord.
I know. I rescued her from a boy throwing her in the air. Yeah, I know. I don't understand people. Yeah, my son kept me from throwing that kid to the ground, whipping his butt. But
I'd be throwing that kid in the air and
I
catching him,
know.
or
Yeah.
lack of catching.
Once he handed me the kitten, she was a kitten then, and my son said, "Don't kill him, Mom," and he took off running. I couldn't move the car fast enough to find out where he went, so he was like, "Just get her home," you know. But I never did see that kid again, so I don't know. Yeah, so she's mine. I wasn't normally always had a dog and pet
Well,
rabbit.
that's it. We've had a couple cats, but I'm a
Yeah,
dog guy through and through.
I know, but I couldn't just let her go.
Oh
I
no, I would
to
never.
rescue. Yeah,
I just don't. Even if I don't like an animal, I would never want to see one suffer. Or,
right.
like let's face it, that's just cruel, and
It is
he's
me.
got he'll have to answer to somebody about that one day.
Yeah, it is mean. So she's a really pampered kitty cat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the way they need to be.
Yep.
But yeah, I'm kind of. I thought I'd pop on and say hi real quick. I'm gonna have to go here in just a minute.
Yep.
Because I gotta run to the city now. Got a call about sweet potato slips, and I'm like, oh yeah,
Oh wow.
yeah. I didn't
So
get it started.
they just have them in, or
Yeah, and
okay.
it's that same farm that I worked for the fruit trees. So like we went and helped pot the trees, and my friend that's coming with me and I.
Mhm.
So I got 11 free fruit trees from that. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah,
I know how much fruit trees are, and that's a lot of
yeah.
money.
That's a lot of money. Now I
Because
bought one.
just my 8 foot, sapling that I got last year was 125 bucks.
Yeah, exactly. When I first put the orchard in, the trees, the premium trees were $25.
Hmm.
Yeah. And the she is being a mess. So anyway, and then when the fire burned a big chunk of them, I had to start over. I noticed the prices were a lot higher. Now the cherry trees were extremely high. I lost every cherry tree but one, and I had a bunch, and I wasn't going to buy those again. And then I waited for the sales each year. So I'm like 5 or 6 years late on the cherry trees because they're so
Well, and
expensive.
that's I just don't know if I don't know if I would eat enough cherries. Like,
Oh, I would.
yeah, I'd have to.
Mhm.
I would have to, because well, my son would too. It'd just be the two of us. Be all right for the first few years, but once it started to fruit, there's no way. I'd definitely have to get them put up somehow.
Oh, yeah. But they're really good. I've got several. I've got some pie cherries and some regular sweet tart cherries,
Okay.
but I
So which ones would you go with?
well, I a Stella is a good cherry tree, and a black tartarian for your tart ones. Your pie cherries are going to be your oh my gosh, my mind just went
I
blank.
want eating/pie.
Black Tartarian would be a good one. I'm trying to think of the one that I got out there because when I got this seedling sapling, it was probably this big, and I got it from Gurney's, and it was the first round. What I got dead trees sent to me, but then the company was bought by somebody else, and then I got another one, and it was probably about yay big. I potted it up for about 4 years before I planted it, and I just planted it this last year. So
Okay.
yeah, and it's in the front with the other cherry trees. Now I bought a black Tartarian from the farm, and he gave me a good deal since I worked so hard, and he sold it to me for 25. Yeah,
You
but
you
no,
can't buy them for that.
no,
Even close.
right?
Add another $100 to that.
Exactly. So I was like, I will definitely work for food. I have no shame in that.
Especially the trees. Like, you
Yeah,
know,
it's a
I
gift
don't
that
know if
will
you've ever
keep on.
ever seen like my side lot, but I've got half an acre that I want to turn into a fruit orchard.
Nice. You can't go wrong.
So that's it. I'm going to do probably 2 or 3 years of apples. But the
Hmm.
problem being around here is people just they they sell like, you pay premium price because if you don't, they're not going to have sales.
Right.
So it they range anywhere from 115 to 130 bucks.
Phew. Gosh, I wished you were close because I get saplings sometimes I could share with. Like I'm taking
Yeah.
saplings up.
Mm,
I know.
yeah, no, it's unfortunate, but um it's so hard. Now, I would leave this tree one more year to be in the ground for two,
Right.
and I have five different apple variations.
Nice.
So you name it, I got it. I've got like fruit apples, the whole shooting match. But
Nice.
yeah, no, just give me one
Another good
sec.
one.
Just give me one sec. I just got to double check something here with my
Okay.
daughter.
Another good pie cherry is the North Star pie cherry. I think I can grab. I can watch the chat on this one. I can't see it on that one. It looks like everybody's saying hi to everybody. Yes, Angie, I will see you Saturday for sure. Well, unless there's tornadoes, then the weather keeps changing every day, so I'm kind of like watching it. But so I don't know if you heard me, Scott. A North Star pie cherry is another good one.
Let me write it down.
Yeah, that's the one that I finally got, and I haven't been able to purchase any more of the pie cherries because they're, I think, close to 200 if I'm not mistaken.
Wow,
I know.
that's
So
great. But yeah,
I won't
just
spend
let
that
me.
much.
I just got to verify something here with my daughter. Just give me a minute.
Okay. Oh, I know. And thank you so much. I'm really praying for good weather. If you'd have been in that car with me, you'd have heard me just pleading with God to get me home. I mean, I was absolutely shaking. I was crying, I was shaking. My kids and I rode out that May 3rd tornado in 1999, and I did disaster services. So I worked the Bridge Creek, Newcastle area, and it was the hardest hit. And I just saw things that will never leave my mind, and it was horrible. And so many people were not ready. So many people lost their pets, their animals, their farm animals, their houses, everything. So pictures, you name it, everything, just a lot of stuff was gone. So I'm terrified of them. Yeah, I know.
I, you know what? You guys have every same as you know, same as Angie. Her
Hmm.
fear, that's a true fear. Like I,
Yeah.
you know, I get, I've never been through that large of a tornado, but I've been through a tornado and watched it come up the river, and it was probably one of the scariest things I've ever done. And I think so I was building a cottage here. There was like a little inlet,
Mm-hmm.
and I was on the outskirts of it, and we saw it was that, you
Oh,
know,
I hate that sound.
I just shiver every time I hear that sound. But
Mm-hmm.
it went probably 300 feet from us,
That's too close.
but it was like it never stopped moving. It was just slow and loud, loud, loud until it got right, level or parallel with us. And then it just started to go downhill, downhill. But it took out half a mile to a mile of solid pine forest. It was like a bunch of lumberjacks came
Loggers,
in
yeah, cleaning the
and
forest.
cleaned out the forest, like just toppled everything. And some of the trees actually limbed them.
Yeah.
Oh, it was, so I've been close. But now, I'm not saying that I know what Angie's going through. She's got a
Yeah.
healthy fear
Fear.
of,
Yeah.
large, large, large.
Yeah. You don't want to be around me when the weather's bad. My kids they told Tom, she freaks out in tornadoes. Just be ready for that. And I mean, my heart rate will go 90 mile an hour and I'll be like shaking.
Yeah.
And he's like, we have a shelter. What are you scared of? I said, because I don't trust it. I don't trust because when I worked that May 3rd tornado, Scott, some of the homes in the Bridge Creek and Newcastle area in between, the homes were ripped from the ground, foundation and all. The plumbing was ripped out of the ground. There was no grass. It was just dirt where these homes used to sit. They were
Mm-mm.
totally gone. People's pictures were being found 300 miles away, just dropping back to earth. It was horrible.
Well,
I
you even
don't
look at
trust.
poor Josh.
I
He's
know. He
been
needs
hit.
to
He's
consider
been hit
moving
3 times in the
yeah,
last year, or a
3 years.
year and a
Yeah.
bit. He's been nailed 3 times,
Oh my gosh. I
and it's like, how do you recover mentally from
you
that?
don't. You
E-
really don't.
no, and poor Angie, she not only she tornado, but she's fire. she, she's just got, if she didn't have bad luck, she'd have no luck at all.
What happened, Angie?
Oh, she was in a forest fire was right near her house as well.
Oh, that's right. I think Tony talked to
Wasn't
me
it,
about
Angie?
that.
That I think that's what it was.
I know she's been in some tornadoes for sure, but I think they had the fire close to their house as well.
Oh, no, 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 no. This isn't recently. This is whenever she was growing up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Well,
this
yeah, and
is
it scars you. Any kind of event like that.
yeah, it
Red,
was an F5 tornado that she went through.
yeah, that's the same one we did. I think it's the same. I think if I remember Tony and I talking about it, because we kind of text back and forth about, hey, are you watching the weather or do you know what's going on? We kind of update each other if we know something.
Mm.
I'll send him a text, and I think he shared that with me about. I think she rode that May 3rd tornado out as well, and
Well, and she just said that they lost their house to
mm,
fire just before the F5 tornado.
yeah, you can't recover from stuff like that.
No, and
I
that's
mean,
what Josh. that's what Josh just said. For some reason, it's not coming up. Why isn't that coming up? Oh, there we go. I hit it right on the head. Like
Yeah.
how do you come back from what poor Josh has had to endure? Like they're trying to raise that. They've got a baby. They're trying to recover from the tornado and the different floods and like goodness gracious,
Right?
it's just
It's relentless.
the man just stands up and he gets kicked down again. And what I don't understand is crap like this is supposed to happen to murderers, not to good people.
Right?
Like, come on now,
Yeah. Why can't it
like
get somebody bad? Why can't it get somebody
exactly.
that's
You
destructive
know,
and evil and
Josh
kill
would give
people?
his shirt off his back to
Right?
anybody, even
Yeah.
if he didn't even know you. He would give you the shirt off his back, and to have all this turn around and you know, like I said to him, I think the last time we were chit chatting, it was like, man, you just keep getting kicked down,
Hmm.
and
But he's
if
strong. He's strong.
oh, he's a strong man, and if there's anybody going to come back from it, it's
Yeah.
it's Josh and his lovely, lovely wife.
Aw.
you know,
I
but
met them at the meetup. Then when they got home, they realized all the damage, and of course, what they'd went through, the tornado, the flooding,
mhm,
and Tony was updating me on everything that they were doing on
yeah.
the cleanup and and all that stuff. So
Well, Josh. So 2 years ago, his wife and all the kids were with him. Last year, it was just Josh, his daughter, and I think Titus was there too. But yeah, no, his wife was actually in the house
uh-huh.
whenever all this was going down. So he was can you imagine you're 3 hours, your wife is calling you. Well, she couldn't get a hold of him because all the cell lines went down,
Where yes, in
and
the connection
he had no
all down.
idea what happened at the house until he oh, I just every time I think about it, it's gut wrenching.
It is. Do you know
Gut
what
wrenching.
I'm praying for now? I'm actually researching and trying to find, and don't laugh, I'm being serious. I drive my husband crazy. I'm trying to find a tornado shelter barn. A a tornado shelter. They make them for normally they start out here in Oklahoma for the racehorses. The people that have the big bucks and want to keep their high dollar racehorses safe from tornadoes.
Mhm.
But other
Pretty
people,
much like the oval or half circles. So the tornado will go up and over it. They're
well,
all over
they're
up here.
made, they're made, they're anchored into the ground, which is the only way to
Mhm.
go. They got to be anchored in the ground if they're going to be above ground, but I still don't trust. I
Mhm.
still don't trust. Um,
We have a bunch of them up here that are built into the side of cliffs,
yeah,
uh, hills, so
yeah,
that if there's a tornado or strong winds or whatever, it just goes over the house and it's almost impenetrable.
nice.
So, yeah, no, we have those. We have quite a few of those up here.
Yeah, so I'm actually researching right now trying to get that because
Yeah.
I have an underground shelter for my animals, but it's not that big. And I have to put them down in there and we have to be real strategic getting everybody in there and it's a lot of
Mm.
work. I'm getting older, it's getting harder. I would like one that I could just walk into that's into the ground
Hmm.
there and then
Hmm.
have just the F5 door on the front and then have it vented, of course, just to put them in just so they can be in a barn underground
Mhm.
where they're safe.
Well, so that you can actually put hay in there
Yeah,
or, a few bags of oats. It's just to keep them going for, say, at the most 2-3 weeks.
yeah,
If
if you
you
have
have
to be.
to, yeah, if you
Because I
have to, you
guarantee
can.
you, when there's that kind of a situation, most of
Mhm,
the vet places will help people out for free. Like
mhm.
when we went through the wildfire, we had 3 rabbits, and I can't remember who it was were asking me how the rabbits were, and I said they're actually coughing because when we were evacuating, the smoke was so thick from that wildfire in 2014. OSU contacted me, and that's Oklahoma State University, the Vet Technology Center, and they offered for free to keep my rabbits, to make sure that their lungs were okay, that they were safe, and they took care of my rabbits for approximately 2 weeks while we cleaned up the farm because we were still burning here for over a week, and they didn't want to bring the animals back into that.
No.
No. And so I had that blessing, but
Mhm.
I wouldn't have to because if I had something like that, they actually would be safe in a fire too because the smoke rises, it wouldn't affect the shelter. I know. No, you're strong-willed like me. Like I just
He's
you
strong like bull.
yeah. I mean, people were calling Tom saying you need to tell Wendy to chill out because after the fire I went nuts. I was ordering and trying to plant everything I lost, and I was like updating on Facebook, and finally people met us in town. They're like, we need to talk, you're going to kill yourself. Because I went nuts trying to replace everything,
Hmm.
and you can't do all that in one season because it took me about 4 years to put it all in
I was gonna say it. It probably took you years to put it in. You're trying
yeah
to get it all back,
in one
back.
season.
Yeah, in
Yeah,
one
I went
season.
nuts. I went nuts.
Yeah.
But the farm's recovering. It's taken a long time, but then we had the hailstorm, we had the windstorm, the ice storm, and the fire. So if I have endured all that and still going, then life's good.
Hmm.
Life
And
is
then you
good.
have Angie. If it's not underground, it's not safe for me.
Well, she knows. She knows. If she went through that F5, she knows it takes the foundation off the ground. I told Tom I don't trust our above ground storm shelter. I
Hmm.
don't. And then I did a video. I'm not trying to be mean, but I've seen some YouTube channels posting their videos of their tornado shelters in their house made out of cinder blocks. And I'm like, oh dear Lord, that ain't going to protect nobody.
Oh, that's not for me.
Oh, sorry.
Let me come.
I don't know. So I didn't.
So it was in your name from when she went to ship it to the P.O. box. And so she just kept it in your name and shipped it here.
Okay, well, this is now the second one we have.
Mom got one for Brooke. I got one for Mom.
Okay, well, I've got another one downstairs that came
Oh,
in the U.S.
That's what we were looking for that was missing.
Well, I didn't know. So,
hey
are you
Scott,
home
I
today?
gotta run. I've got
What's that?
somebody here. I've got somebody that came here, so I gotta run. Bye,
All right.
everybody. Thank you for having me.
Toodles.
Take care.
I got seeds. Ho, 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 ho. This is a whole lot of seeds. This is 10 packs of herb seeds. So, again, rainbow seeds. Not only do I endorse them, I use them. Just saying. Yeah. Oh, okay. She already answered you. So, any more news yet, Josh, on what you called me about? There we go. But, anyways, folks, we're coming on to an hour and a half. Okay, buddy. Let me know, one way or another. You got my digits. Call me. Or text me. Or Instagram me. Or messenger me. I think you've got enough ways to get a hold of me. But, anyways, we do have... I didn't want to say anything, but we've got an active fire happening close to the house here. So that's why I've been... That's why I've been having to deal with this. So I really should go start dealing with it more. And like I said, been on almost an hour and a half. And hopefully we are going to be good. Yesterday, oh, for God's sakes, we just had a shooting at our airport in Toronto 2 hours ago. Man's dead after being shot by police at Toronto's Pearson Airport. By the sounds of it, he went a little cuckoo. Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. And, well, the police took care of it real fast. Yeah. I'm just going to say I know nothing about it, but let's just say that possibly might have been a little over was outside. Oh, it was actually first thing this morning. It shows that there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 bullets I can see. Now, I'm not saying that he wasn't full of weapons or something that was going to harm the police. I don't know. But I will be listening and watching the news as to see what the heck happened. But he was 30. Well, technically is, but he will never see 31 because they shot him dead. It was at the departures, so he was about to leave. He did have a weapon, but never shot at the police. And then they took 16 shots at him that you can see. I guess they were going to make sure they did the job and did it right the first time. Good Lord. After the man was already on the ground, there was 10 more shots. Wow. What's up, my brother? From a different mother.
Another day in paradise.
Well, that's the main thing. How's the pumpkins in yet?
Watermelons, not yet.
Or yeah, well, you got watermelons, you got pumpkins, you got.
Yeah, the pumpkins will go in. I'll plant them later on, probably in a couple of months.
Okay. And don't you do cantaloupe and everything too?
Yeah, a little bit of everything.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm down right now, just checking on my bridge, just watching the water and see what it's been raining today, so I'm just keeping an eye on the water flow to see what it's doing.
Oh, Jesse said 10 killer. There's, he said it's just absolutely crazy. The amount of water at 10 killer right now.
Right.
Like he had to go down by the maintenance shed up at the top to get to the parking spot, to get to his camping site. So, I'd say where you guys normally stay, I bet you that'd be darn near underwater.
Oh no, yeah. We didn't see it over there, but it was. I mean, the water. I mean, it's probably pretty close to it.
Mm-hmm.
But
hey, Lynn. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Oh, there, Josh is back.
Yeah, I figured the internet's a little bit bad, but
actually, except for that last 5 seconds.
Oh, it's been pretty good.
Yeah, it's been perfect.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, I guess one good thing that the storms did, they washed me a watch post up here. I can sit on the log and watch the water raise.
Yeah, we've got story time for Josh's log.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm right on the bridge.
Oh man.
Yeah, so I don't know. It's life, It's tough. I mean, I walked away down there, and here's its way. I mean, it was a lot. It was quick too. It came up really quick.
So
and
I didn't even hear about this one. So when was this? About a week ago?
It was on Saturday. So we had a storm, and they said it was going to rain a lot, but they didn't say, just torrential or, really bad. But just because it was going to be a lot of rain, um, I was watching it all day. Saturday, I was watching it. Friday, I was watching it, and then it started raining in the later the day on Saturday, and so it started raining a lot, and I kept on coming down here like every hour. I was coming down and looking at it, and it really wasn't popping up. It wasn't rising. And then late in the evening, it started coming up a little bit. In fact, it rose, and was almost to the bottom of my bridge. And then I said, well, I need to keep an eye on it because my tractor was down here, my Tahoe, lawnmowers, everything was down here, the animals and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so I kept watching it. Well, it went to the bottom of the bridge. I went back. I said, I need to go check in about an hour or so. About 30 minutes went by, and I walked by. It was pouring down rain. I had to change every time I get back to the house because it was pouring that much. So I came back about 30 minutes later, and it was the bottom of the bridge was covered, but it wasn't over the top of the bridge yet. And so I said, well, I need to. Yeah, it was quick, that quick. So I said, well, I need to. And this was at midnight. This is right at midnight. And I said, well, I need to go back in another 30 minutes and just keep an eye to make sure it's not going to get out of control.
Well,
and I went inside. Do what?
I just said you can't afford to lose more animals. Oh. Good Lord, you're just getting back on your feet from the first big one.
Right. So I went back inside. I poured a cup of coffee and sat down in the chair, and I was watching I had started to pull up the weather, and my son was outside on the front porch with Haley, and they were watching the weather. Well, he come running in. I mean, I just barely sat down. He come running in and said, Dad, there's some guy walking down the road in the rain towards town. And I said, well, I'll go give him a ride. And they said, at midnight, you're going to get somebody a ride? I said, well, who wants to walk in the dang rain? See, I'm going to give him a ride. So I went to give him a ride into town. I came back. I must have been gone maybe 5-10 minutes. Got parked, came back down here to check again, and the water was all the way up. So let me see. So if you can see the red lawnmower, I don't know how well you can see. There's a white tote, and then there's something red over there. That's a little lawnmower. Yeah. So the water was waist deep all the way up to there. Well, at that time it was about a foot.
Oh my God, Josh!
The tire were water. So, and it.
Turn your head, Josh. Turn your head. We're losing you. Oh,
I'm gonna come back.
You're back. Shake your head.
You got me back yet?
Yeah, you're back.
Am I good now or no?
Yeah.
I can't hear you well.
Uh-oh. Well, we can finally hear you again.
We good back now?
Yeah. Yeah, you've been good for a while. Let's see if he can see the thumbs up because he can't hear us.
Yeah, if you can hear me,
I can hear you.
I'm walking back up to the house.
Oh, okay.
So you can hear the whole story. Oh, okay, good.
Yeah. Yeah, no, we can hear. You just blipped out for like 10 seconds. No, now he froze again. He was doing better. He was doing better out on his.
I'll be in Wi-Fi in a second, so it'll freeze when it switches over. But then I'll have good service. We'll see how well that lasts.
There, I think
But
you're
now I'm out of
switched
breath.
over. I think you're switched over there now.
Oh, okay. Now I'm out of breath. Yes.
Well, and
So
that's it.
it's
You
one
got your
problem I have.
your health issues, and and oh my God,
Yeah.
between
Uh,
water and breathing, I don't know, man.
yeah. And it's tough. Anyways, can you hear
All
me
right.
now?
Yep. Yep.
I can. I,
Yep. Can you hear us? He can't hear us. We can hear him.
anyhow, so my tractor was under the water a foot.
Oh no. For some reason, he popped down to the bottom. We'll see if he starts. Oh, now he gone. So I don't know if you guys were able to catch the gist of that, but Josh just got flooded out again on Saturday. Oh, let's see if he's back.
Maybe.
There we go. I can hear you. You hear me?
Okay. I can hear you. I'm
Perfect.
I'm right at my front door now.
There you go.
No, anyhow, so my tractor was the tires were a foot in the water about. So I raced around to check on the dog because I just got done building like the weekend before. I just built her a new pen, and so I got around there, and her feet are inches from being in the water. She's on top of her doghouse. So we grabbed her. I tried to walk out there to her and swim, but the current was too strong, so I couldn't make it. So Trinity's boyfriend was here, and so I asked him. I said, "Can you swim?" And I said, "If you're comfortable with it, I'll tie you off, and I'm strong enough. I can pull you back."
Yeah.
I said, "You can't pull me back, but I can pull you back if something goes wrong."
Yeah, I'd rather me have control than a
Well,
young feller.
right. So he said, "Yeah." So we tied him off, and he floated out there and saved the dog. Then we went back to save the Tahoe and the tractor, and the zero turns were already underwater.
Oh my God, Josh.
So I got around there and I jumped on the tractor. It started up and I backed it out on a hill. And then they got in the Tahoe and the battery was dead. It wouldn't start. So I said, well, crap, I'll just hook a chain real quick. We'll find a chain and then we'll drag it backwards. So I pulled back in the water. And by this time, the water has come up within 10 minutes. The water come up another foot. And we're up to our stomachs nearly in water by this time. And we got it hooked up and I went to back it out and it spun out. The tractor spun a little bit and then all of a sudden it just died out on me. It flooded out. And what had happened is it sucked the water level. The water level. I thought it was just in the fan and so it didn't have power to spin it. But what happened was the water level made it to the air filter and it sucked it into the motor. And so luckily it shut it off right away. Like it just quit.
Okay.
And so we just gave up at that time. I just had to give up. And my pigs, they were in about 1.5 feet to 2 feet of water. And I was on the verge of letting them out. By this time, we've already made it. I don't even know what time of the morning it was, 2 o'clock or something. And I watched a little bit more, and was keeping an eye on them. And I was fixing to let them out. And then I noticed it quit raining, and it was raining in spurts this time. And so the water level had dropped just a couple inches. And so I said, it's going down. I said, if it's dropping now, it'll be all right. So I did not have to turn them loose, and none of them drowned. I did lose 5 chickens, but it's better than all the chickens like last time. So
True, but still, it sucks.
yeah, I mean it's not good,
but still, 5 chickens is better than 1 pig.
Yeah, that ain't no joke.
You're looking at 25 pounds of meat compared to 300 to 400 pounds of meat.
Right. Yeah, it was a lot better than all the stuff we picked up. Last year when this happened, when it had all washed away, we just put it all. We got it back to my property and left it. We got it back to my place, and then to cover, because of the financial burden that I had, I changed jobs. I went on the road, and so I was gone the whole year nearly. I was just not home much at all, so I never had time to really just clean it up or do much with it all.
Yeah.
Then when I got the blood clots, then my health, I couldn't physically get out there and do something with any of it. So now all that is washed back down the creek. So that's it's been a whirlwind to say the least, and it's very depressing is a good way to put it.
Yeah.
Right.
But
like I was saying,
you got, you're still here. Number
right.
one, you shouldn't be.
Yeah, that is no joke.
The good Lord decided that, he wasn't ready for you yet. And every medical thing, you should not be here right now. So, you got to take every positive out of every negative.
Right.
And, I know it doesn't, I know you're sitting there going, oh yeah, come try it.
No, it's tough. I know.
It just, it just sucks. Truly sucks. But,
Right.
you look at it at, you still do have a roof over your head.
Yep.
There's work to be done, and I honestly pray that I live closer, because not that I could do a hell of a lot more than what you can, but between the two of us, we might be able to be half a person.
Right. If these people are stopping, I might have to go for a second.
Okay, well, you go do what you got to do.
Yeah, well, they ain't stopping yet. Oh, here's the next group. Yeah, we might. Yeah, let me go. That's the DOTs here. I got a drain problem in the front yard that's drowning the pigs. All their drain is not draining correctly, and it has caused my stem wall to collapse. And then there's a big hole that my son fell in the other day. That's all caused from their drain. And I called him out, and I told him we need to address the problem. I said, man, I told him what the problem was, and that it has tore up my personal property now, and my son fell in it. And the guy's like, well, it looks like this was not supposed to have been put here. This is probably done illegally. And then I showed him stuff, and then he's like, oh, that used to be a driveway. That's why the tin horn's here. I said, no, there was no driveway. This is your tin horn. It was put in this way. And then he noticed my survey stakes and noticed that the problem is on his side. So he kind of changed his tune a little bit, but he did say we can't fix no personal property, and which I did my homework before I called him. So if their problem caused damage on my side, yes, they are responsible for fixing it.
Absolutely. So, and we do that every day. And don't let them try to tell you any different, because it's just what we all do.
Right. Yeah. You do it. I did my homework first, but
I was just at somebody's house this week. The guys are there this tomorrow, and they are fixing the gentleman's property because they screwed it up with a plow. Now yours is water, ours was snow.
Right. Yeah, I told him, I said, I was nice about it, because you don't just you get better results when you're kind, but I'm not gonna let them push me around. I'm gonna go the kind way first.
Amen. And then
sorry about
that. Yeah, no, you obviously are going to go in very, very kind, because you make the guy laugh and joke, make it more like a joke, lighthearted. You're going to get farther with them.
Right.
Because I know myself, people that come at me, they're not going to get what that guy that made me laugh is going to
get. Yeah. I told him, I said, when he was trying to push the blame off, not on him, I kind of made sure. I said, another truck's coming. Not as loud. But yeah. No. So when he was trying to push the blame off, I kind of said, I was like, I understand it's not your personal problem that you have. I said, but the drain is messed up, and all I'm asking is for some assistance on helping me get the problem fixed.
That's it. And I just want to get this rectified so that my son, use this word, I want to get this rectified so my son does not die. As soon as you say that word, within a week it'll be fixed.
Yeah.
There's key words that you use that make them go very quickly, because once you say that D word, they're liable if Titus falls in and can't get back out.
Yeah. I told him,
baby.
Yeah, it was the baby.
Yeah. And the baby can't get back out.
Right.
Yeah. So, it is what it is. And it just, it sucks that you got to use these keywords sometimes, but it is what it is.
Yeah. It was, like I said, I went the easy route, and I told him, luckily I was here. Luckily I was beside my son because what happened was the water has washed the dirt underneath away. And so when he stepped on the side, it was like a cliff, and it broke off.
Yep.
And I showed him the fresh, clean, green grass that had fell in where he stepped. And I said, luckily this time I was right there to grab him.
Now, are you taking pictures?
Yeah, I did video on it.
Okay. Make sure that you got pictures, video, whatever. Just make sure this is all done to your, and don't let them push you around, because they will try.
Well, I happen to have a very, very good friend that is high up in the DOT, but he's in another county and another department, but he knows the rules.
Absolutely.
Of it. And so I contacted him and asked for his opinion on it first to see where I stood. And
Yeah.
so, 'cause I told him, I said, I want to know what you can and can't do. So therefore, when they tell me something, I know if he's trying to just get it over on me, or if it's technically really something they can or can't do. And so, and he said that if their problem caused personal property damage on my side, they're reliable to fix it.
Mm-hmm.
So, but then he said, well, I don't know when it's going to be out. I said, well, I don't know when and how far this is going to go down either. I see him down there trying to figure out the problem. Yeah. Well, I guess I'll go and go get a hold of him.
Yeah, it's one of those things where if you don't, he's going to go, well, I don't see anything inconclusive, and nothing will be done about it.
Right. All right. Well, I'm going to go so I can go grab him real quick. They're trying to poke down the road, trying to find the problem. We'll talk
buddy.
to everybody later. All right. Take
Take
it
care,
easy.
and
All right.
give me a shout tomorrow.
All right. I will.
All right, buddy.
All right.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye. That poor boy. Again, if he didn't have bad luck, he'd have absolutely no luck at all. I just don't, it's crazy the amount of, health issues. And, I think those that don't know, he wasn't even at home, and he ended up with a blood clot in his lungs 8 hours from home by himself. He knew there was something wrong, but he was trying to get back home. So he was trying to push to get back home. Everything medical is, he should not be alive. And, I'm sure glad he still is, because, I think a lot of Josh, and, that's Mackenzie goes, we like Joshes.
I thought there's so many.
Oh yeah, there's so many Joshes. Her better half is also a Josh.
Hey, you're supposed to be on my side.
I don't know. I can be bought off. But anyways, guys, I gotta say, this rainbow seeds. 2, 4, 6, 10. I paid for those. They threw all those in. It's crazy. Absolute. They've doubled. They've doubled the ask.
I'm home tonight. Don't tell Mom it's here.
You are home tonight?
Yeah, I'm not.
Okay, well,
I don't feel good.
I got one downstairs. So I don't know. Which one did you order from Mom? Because that one has got you, Mom.
Yeah, that's the one I ordered for Mom.
Without Kyle or I.
No.
Just the girls.
Everybody's in it.
No, this one has just got.
Dad, I just looked at it. It's the first Christmas picture when we moved in.
Well, Kyle and I and Brooke just looked at it. There's you, Brooke, and Mom.
Well, I'm telling you, no. I just looked at it. They're all 5 of us are there. You didn't look at it, right?
I don't know. I don't know. Anyways, guys, I'm going to go. I will see you guys all tomorrow night. Toodles!